Today's lesson, we're going to talk about basic probabilities. In order to go over basic probabilities, make sure we understand what is outcomes, events, sample space. And we will use the formula of finding a probability of event using this. If we start the example 1, it says if you have a 6 size dice, describe the sample space. Sample space is what can happen. And if you have a 6 size and have a number on each side, it could only happen when you roll that dice. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is something it can happen when you roll a dice, and nothing else or any other number can appear if you only have 6 sides with number. And we call this sample space. What about the second one? If we roll 6 side dice, so it will be the same thing. Let's see if we can figure out the probability rolling a 1. Probability of getting a 1. So we know this is going to be total sample size, right? And that's going to be your denominator, right? And bigger than 4 can happen. Your bigger than 4 is going to be only, we're looking at the 1. Rolling a 1, right? Rolling a 1 will be only 1 numbers. So it will be 1 out of 6. And then when we're looking at the bigger than 4. Bigger than 4 is going to be 5 and 6. So it will be 2 out of 6, which is going to be 1/3. And that's going to be probability of getting those events. What about the third one? Let's say you have a bag with 20 cherries, 14 sweet and 6 sour. If you pick a cherry at random, what is the probability that it will be sweet, right? So 20 is going to be total, so that's going to be denominator. And the one that you wanted to get is the sweet one, and you have a 14 sweet. So it will be 14 out of 20 will be your probability. And when you reduce this, it will be 7/10. Let's try another one. Example 4. Compute the probability. So finding a probability, randomly drawing one card from a deck. When you say standard deck, right, that's going to be 52 cards. Getting an ace, so that's going to be a total number, right? Getting an ace, there will be 4 aces. So probability of getting an ace from the 52 card will be 4 out of 52. You reduce it, will be 1/13. And most of the times you will see the probability written on the decimal form. So if you wanted to do that, it will be 0.0769. So either format of the probability will be okay. The next one is drawing a single card, getting a red spade. So that will be another 52 out of how many? Well, one thing that you need to remember is spade is always black. In order to get red, it will be 0 chance. So your probability will be 0, which means it's impossible event. What about the next one? When it say the weatherman say that chance of raining is 100%, find the probability that it will be rain today. If the chance is 100%, another word that will be probability will be 1. So your probability, the smallest number will be 0, and the largest number of the probability will be 1, because 100% is equals to 1 probabilities. The next one is if you have, again going back to the 6 size dice, calculate a probability of rolling on odd number. So remember we say the sample event will be 6, but then getting an odd number will be either getting 1, 3, and 5. So out of 1 through 6, odd number is 3 of them. So 3 out of 6, your probability of rolling on odd number will be 1/2. The next one, at some random moment, you look at your clock and notice the minutes reading. What is the probability? The minute reading is 15. So you have 60 choice. It could be 1 minute, it could be 2 minutes, right? All the way to 60 minutes. So total sample event is going to be 60. And out of 60, you get 15, which is 1, right? So your probability of A will be 1/60. What about if it's a probability that the minute reading is 15 or less? So probability of the minute is 15 or less. That's going to be 16 case, right? That will give you 4 out of 15. And don't forget the reason is 16 is because here is 0 through 15, right? Not 1 through, but it could be 0. So then let's look at the last problem. It said that the neighborhood heard on the radio that probability of an earthquake of magnitude 7.0 or higher hitting California in the next 10 years is 1.2. How do you know that this is incorrect? So when they're talking about probability, remember, probability start from 0 to 1, right? So when it's a probability of 1.2, this is something cannot be happen. Right? So make sure probability is different than the percent, right? So because it's over 1, probably the of 1.2 is impossible.